In 1999, I finally spoke out after realizing that many lies had been perpetrated and were still being perpetrated about Lee Oswald being the assassin when I knew better. I knew this man. I had been his constant companion during, not daytime, not in the evening or anything like that. But, for example, we met in April 26, 1963, and we were hired by the same small sub-company the same day called Standard Coffee. A lot of people never knew that. It's something that was kind of hidden. And, of course, I knew that the records were there. There are only like 2 records that show that in the whole Warren Commission thing. We have Jack Ruby's mother's teeth, but we don't have anything about the fact that Lee and I rode the same bus for 11 weeks every single day. We only lived a few blocks apart. That is only one bus stop apart. That we were hired the same day at the small sub company. And on top of that, 1 week later, we were transferred to a larger company, Riley Coffee. Had about maybe 95, maybe 100 employees, still not that big. That was the same day. Then, for example, the day that Lee was fired there, they put an ad in the paper. They ordered an ad at the Times-Picayune to replace me. The ad wasn't worded quite right, so they had to put another one in. I was training someone. I was supposed to stay until the end of August, and at that time I would be replaced. Unfortunately, they fired me on August 9th because that was the day I was seen with Lee prior to his being arrested. He was arrested for handing out pro-Castro literature. Now, he was supposed to hand out pro-Castro literature because he was working with Guy Bannister, former FBI agent who was associated with the FBI in New Orleans, trying to find pro-Castro spies that were coming in because this was a port of entry. Castro spies were coming in because a lot of anti-Castro people were working there in New Orleans. And, for example, they had a training camp out at Lake Pontchartrain, and the Castro spies were trying to infiltrate the training camp to see who was against them, of course. Lee's job was to hand out pamphlets, not only the ones we see on films on August 9th and then a week later, but also he did this a couple of months earlier. And in each case, I can document why he did this. For example, a lot of people don't understand that, well, why do you see this man who's just handing out pamphlets? Why is he on film? Why is he that important? You had demonstrations going on all the time in New Orleans. It was, segregation, this, that, and the other. Well, Bannister, really, they set up pictures. They wanted photographs. They were taking photos of people who were taking these flyers and not discarding them.